to do this video over again because I want this video's information to be the topic. To be honest, I had a conversation a while back. When I mean a while, I mean probably over a year or two ago, and I was asking Lex, and he had the education center on the phone about the name and why my name meant chief, but it meant chief from Ireland in the Irish, and I couldn't understand. I wasn't computing, putting two and two together. In the education center, it's basically trying to get me to comprehend, get out of the mindset that they have, about who they say are the Irish, because what I wasn't comprehending is that they've moved into there, and that the original people of these lands are not the ones that are there today. These are the ones that finally settled it and conquered it as of late. So, he's pointing that out, and then they started talking about the Micmac, not Micmac, I'm sorry, the Knick-Knack, and we got into knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, and so I was getting them confused while I was thinking about the Micmac, and apparently, even though the information in the video I posted I thought was solid, people are more caught up on the fact that I misspoke than I am with the information I'm trying to show you. So I'm recording this, and hopefully there won't be no more comments about about me speaking. We can just focus on what's being said here. And this is the the written language of the Micmac Indians. And this is because of the Book of Mormon here. Check this out.
The top image, that's the anthem transcript that so well known. There's a regarding a story about the sealed portion of the book I cannot read by Professor Anthem, of course, coming out of Old Testament. Here we have the anthem transcript on the left. Notice the characters in that vertical roll. And now look to the right. The right characters are called the Micmac Indians, who are also Algonquin, upstate New York and Maine and the early lower part of Canada. When the Jesuit priests came into this country, they found the Micmac writing this language, and this was what's called their symbols. It was identified by Dr. Barry Fell in the 1970s as a form of Egyptian hieratic, and then he also called it the Formed Egyptian of all things. And here's a few characters, 17 compared side by side. They're so very close, they're almost exact. In some cases, a few of them are exact. But here it is, in North America, in New England, Algonquin people again, and another parallel to the Book of Mormon. Egyptian hieratic.
I'll get out of that.
And a favorite of Columbus. This altar painting dates from shortly after.
This is a translation, all right? So, even though it says that they're black, it's a medical, when they say we're dark hued. So right here, this is from the soul of the earth. This is an actual chief telling you that they were black before the so-called black, thing of the 1960s. Before the pride thing of the 1960s.
Right. So he could have used the name. He could have used the name more. They just edited it out.
Bingo. You got it.
Like black prophetic war.
Exactly.
All right, now listen to this.
Exactly. It is what people have to realize. So, another good thing, you have a Harvard professor, Dr. Barry Bell, for which they about the Micmac of the Northern Algonquin family and tribes in which that the Micmac belonged to. They said that they spoke the language of Liberian.
Liberia.
Libyan. Libyan.
See, yeah, that's right,
Now,
Libyan.
where's Libya at? That is next to Egypt. And that's in Africa. What the hell is Micmac natives doing speaking damn Africa? And the crazy thing is that they preserved it over 1,000 years. Now,
I don't know if you heard it, but he said that this professor was studying the Micmac, and he came to the conclusion that they are speaking a language of Liberia. Hold on.
Libyan.
Sorry, Libyan. Yeah, I always get it confused after he mentions that first.
That is next to Egypt. That's in Africa. What the hell is big back natives doing speaking damn African?
Hmm.
And the crazy
And then,
thing,
yo, when you're checking out this picture, think about the feathers, right, of the peacock. He's got a bow. He's got arrows. I still can't figure out why he's wearing the Lorraine cross. But I was just thinking about that when he's shooting that. I mean, all the things you need, right? If you're native and if you're living off the land.
that they preserved it over 1,000 years. Now this is from a Harvard. This is from a Harvard professor who studied
He said,
language.
he said Libya.
Libya.
Right.
Is there a Libya on this side as well?
Of course it is.
You know, you look at the exotic map, so you don't even know what Libya he's talking about.
Well, in this particular case, they're claiming African.
Yeah. Because he is Africa.
See, now, and I've tried to find those exotic maps that they're talking about because there's at some point they talk about how we're in Africa, how the east coast of the United States is supposed to be Africa, and the Mississippi River is supposed to be an ocean and splits it. Which made me think about what was the book, The America Being the Most Latest, Greatest, the Most Accurate Depiction of the New World. Right now we look at the Mississippi River, we're like, how could anybody fall for that? You can see across it, right? But back then, if most of this was underwater, then you might think differently, right? I mean, I know South Carolina used to be underwater. When my very first job, I was working on a watermelon farm, you know, doing cross-pollinations and building greenhouses. And this guy had 188 acres of land that he planted watermelon. He had his house on it, but he planted watermelon and built greenhouses so he could fool around with them. He sold his research to the University of Clemson, and then he took the rest of the watermelon and he would just sell them to the neighboring Amish and had roadside, you know, pop-up stands and stuff. And he explained to me that South Carolina is proof at one point in time it was underwater because it's the only way you can have pockets of sand that are 188 acres wide. And he said, you know, that's perfect for growing, you know, obviously watermelon in those regions. And you got to think about it with all this stuff that they make fun of us, about us, you know, in watermelon. You know, go and look up the Egyptians, what they thought about watermelon. They thought it was amazing. That small seed, that tiny seed can make something so massive. But they had a different appreciation for things than we see, you know, nowadays. When you sit back and you think about it, then you think about watermelon as being something, you know, just an amazing build, you know, and it goes against all their logic. I mean, come on, they tell us that all this is built out of a bang for no reason. There's no creator. None of that. I mean, come on, you know, it's all a terrible joke. But yeah, no, I just wanted to correct some of that stuff about, you know, just the name. So that's why I try not to speak as much as possible in this one. So when people see Micmac and the Algonquin speaking an African language, they know that I'm not confused. I didn't get things twisted. So, but yeah, I mean, this is always a good video to check out stuff. I mean, just going back to when they were talking about Colonel A. Bratchett.
Now, this is another good book called
Because Colonel A. Bratchett, I actually looked at the book, The Songs of the Earth. Not Songs of the Earth, The Shadow of Atlantis, I'm sorry. I looked up that, and yeah, it was basically this guy was a white supremacist, and he was just out to find white gods, and wherever they may be. And at the time, they must have known where Atlantis was because he went to Atlantis, and he's seen it. And he talks about, you know, the people of Atlantis were of different types, and they were Negroes there. And he talks about, you know, Mexico, and how they have the statues of the Mexican gods down there. And they were Negroes, so he couldn't find the white gods he was looking for. So, that was a white supremacist talking that way. But anyways, check this out, you know. we'll go from there.